Welcome in to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We're back with these wonderful humans to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. Quick announcements up for this time. Firstly, this is our last episode of the year before we go on Christmas break, which is well deserved for many people. I'm mainly looking at Chris, who desperately needs a break from teaching. But all of us could do with one anyway.
The future.
We might still be playing games ourselves, but we won't be recording or putting anything up during that time. In other news, I mentioned last week about 200 slightly useful items. Well, either out already or out beginning of next week will be 200 sort of super stocking stuffers, a Christmassy themed version of the 200 slightly useful items. Which is currently just going through layout as we're recording this, but hopefully should be available for all of you. There will be a link in the description when it is up, if nothing else. And as always, NPC Art, if it appears, is done by Aderyn from the Art Venturing Guild. Do go and if you can, or just in general, support all artists because they deserve it, and AI is evil. But without further ado, with all of those announcements over, we will continue our story. Last time out, having camped in the middle of the Ishra Wood, some of you attempted to do some bat hunting. It did not end well, in fact ending up more looking like a bat than having any in hand. For one elder of you, it was an uncomfortable evening of many eyes seemingly endlessly watching. But in the morning, it was uncomfortable for all of you, as a certain fey trickster that doesn't seem to like you or want you around visited you and had encased you all in growing roots and plant matter. Attempts to dissuade, escape, and in some places attack the creature were had. 2 of your members fell unconscious from suffocation, but you did bring them back. And the fey creature, whoever they are, disappeared invisibly into the forest, suggesting that you leave the forest behind. Regardless, though, you pushed on, continuing on your efforts to try and find Fiddler. You eventually came across a hedgerow in the middle of the forest, quite out of place considering the nature of the wood. And upon crossing the threshold, Aderyn and Lesley were both caught up by vine blights and began walking towards the centre of whatever this place was, arrested as they were. Brief combat ensued, and a diplomatic conversation led to you being told to venture in and go talk to the person who controls the vine blights. Walking through, you were accosted by the area itself. Whether it was illusions or actual earth swallowing you whole in some places, you're not sure. But you eventually were spat out right in front of Auntie Blightroot's hut, which is where we will pick up. So we pick up with you in front of this messy, not quite fitting together hut. Not quite circular window frames, not quite fitting right, door jammed in its frame. Some firelight flickering from inside, and the porch covered in an assortment of potted plants as lilac smoke wafts from the chimney at the centre. You stand outside. What do you want to do?
I'm not being the first in. Everyone else, I'm not doing the talking. I can't trust in this.
A second in command, I will stand up to the occasion.
I'm already skipping up the steps.
I think maybe.
Remember as well, all of us, no loud noises. Are you sure you've got this, Aderyn?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna knock really gently.
Tauri, be ready to take over.
Cap.
As you knock, the ill-fitting door that you instinctively think would need to be pulled forcefully open swings gently inward.
I'm gonna turn to Balrick and be like, I'm gonna walk in.
I'll follow.
Anyone else?
I'm at the back, herding us all in.
Inside is dark. The only natural light poking through in narrow beams of dust-filled sunlight from the gaps in the roof. In one corner, a stoked fireplace crackles gently, providing a burnt umber light to the room, above which a heavy pewter cauldron gently bubbles. Shadows linger in every corner and smoke clings to the roof beams. Slanted shelves, crooked cupboards, and wonky wardrobes line the room across all the walls, with tinctures, potions, and salves, pots, flasks, and bottles scattered across them. In the centre of the room, there is a circular table, easily big enough to fit all of you around, with a contraption formed of copper pipe sitting above a fruit bowl.
So the copper pipe looks like it leads into the fruit bowl?
It rests above it.
But and what's the angle situation here? Fruit going in, fruit coming out?
So what it looks like is you have this bowl of fruit and then this contraption kind of resting above it on stilted legs, with then a number of pipes coming off a large central, almost conical copper contraption, and then pipes coming off that, leading to the edges of the table.
It's a nice place.
Like how unpredictable the layout is.
It's homely. It's nice.
Should there be someone here?
Quietly.
Alright, as you usher everyone in and step a few feet through the doorway, you feel a shift in the light behind you. Almost like the smoke wafts and catches the light before settling in darker shadow. You turn around and you see a rake-thin, middle-aged woman, skin long-aged from the sun and creased with years, hair a faded nest of earthy browns rapidly turning to misty grey, a crooked smile cocked along with her shoulders. Well, well, well. Which foolish folks have visited Auntie today? A mismatched patchwork outfit of simple colours, cloth, and leather pieces. Her pockets stuffed with moss, animal bits, and earth pouring out onto the floor. And in one hand she clutches what appears to be a cat skull that is gently wreathed in ghostly light. Auntie is not a fan of ill-wanted trespassers. Slam! As the door shuts behind her, shutting you all in the room. What brings you to my estate?
Aderyn.
It's quite a nice estate. I like it.
We're here looking for someone. We were pointed in your direction as to try to get an inkling of where they are.
Is that so? May I ask who pointed you in my direction?
Out of character, can anyone remember? Because I
It
can't.
was the
It's from the
Fiddler-
book.
the person we're trying to look for, really.
Fiddler's noted in his notebook about Auntie.
So,
We are looking for Fiddler, and everything we discovered about him pointed towards you.
Fiddler. Interesting. It was my understanding we had an arrangement. So I'm not entirely sure who's at fault. Did they speak to you? Or did you come unbidden?
I mean, Fiddler left instructions on how to find here, so kind of makes sense that Fiddler's the one at fault.
And who did he leave these instructions for?
I mean,
People who needed to get in contact with him when he was lost.
Roll a deception check.
We did rob him. Can I just quickly nudge Lesley to be like, please point out, please make sure that either you remind Aderyn or someone to point out. She's
21.
right us in. We're not trespassers, we're guests right now. Very important.
21.
Can Lesley walk like next to Aderyn and just sort of like poke her and like do eyebrows, like he wants to say something to her?
Yes.
And then Leslie's gonna relay everything that Balrick just said. We are not trespassing.
She opened the door, the guard said that wanted to invite us in, blah blah.
Auntie,
Yes, dearie.
No.
I just wanted to say that you called us trespassers, which confused me and my friends because we knocked and you invited us in.
I think there is a misunderstanding, dearie. You entered my estate unbidden. You crossed the threshold.
The door opened.
She's not talking about the door.
You walk through my crops and plantation and think it's not the works of someone brilliant?
oh, that's very brilliant. I
Control.
haven't seen anything like it.
And I doubt you will again.
You control all the
That'd be a
forest.
shame.
I control what is mine.
And all the eyes.
I'm afraid I don't quite know what you're referring to, dear. Please, have a seat and elaborate. She gestures to the circular table.
Pick up a chair.
Leslie also takes a chair.
I'll take a chair.
I was not talking to you.
I put the
Sit
chair
down.
back as if I'm putting it out for Aderyn to sit down on.
I'll drag the chair towards me and just look at her expectantly. Like,
There's a brain behind those eyes. Excellent. It has been a long time since I had someone who knew what they were doing. And she takes a seat herself, opposite you. I'm now talking not Bay terms when she takes a seat in that. As she sits down, it is disconcerting because everything about her is a millimeter, a centimeter too long. It creates just slight crookedness in how everything lines up. Either something is slightly too short or something too long. And so when she sits there, she clearly sits over, like, she looms over the top of this contraption on the fruit bowl, but at the same time, only one foot is actually touching the floor, the other one slightly hovers. So, what what really brings you to my abode, darling? I don't sense you're here for that scampering, slick-headed fool.
The Fiddler. It's why we're here as a group.
But it's not why you're here. It's not the question you are looking for answers to.
Suppose I have other questions, but I wouldn't want to pester you. You don't seem like someone who wants to put up with questions.
I'm not a fan of using my own time, but if you want to provide some of yours...
Thank you, Balrick. I don't have time to spare to
That's
give
a shame.
away.
But everyone has something they're willing to give.
I'll elbow Lesley.
I do have something I could give you if you want to just have a conversation and then we mutually have a nice time and then we walk away.
Lesley screaming in Aderyn's head, "The fruits! The fruits! The moldy fruits!"
What about the moldy fruits?
She likes disgusting moldy fruit. We have delicious moldy fruit. Oh, Lesley, we have the fruit.
We're gonna give her fruit?
She likes fruit.
Okay. We could give you fruit.
Old fruit.
Old fruit.
That might satisfy something.
It's fruit containing time. Time to give to you through the fruit.
You're trying too hard, dearie.
I could also give you something else.
Come, if you say you have fruit, perhaps let's consider it if it is sufficient. Recompense for your entry to my estate. And then we can talk about why you're really here and come to a bargain.
Leslie's gonna hand Aderyn the fruit.
She picks it up, 2 fingers wrapped nearly all the way around it, while another one doesn't even fully reach. I see you've met some of the fellows of the Fae. I can't say I get along well with many of them anymore.
I don't think we can say that either.
What makes you say that?
I was given a gift that I'm not so sure about anymore, but I'm still...
That's kind of a funny colour.
She places the fruit down and, shifts her attention to you, Lesley.
Oh, but I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation so rudely.
Oh, indeed. That is a unique gift, indeed.
No, that's just my face. It is a gift.
You can try to deflect, dearie, but I see more than you know.
Not for you. Not a gift for you.
Balrick's gonna have a heart attack.
I was for a minute there, I was like, no, it's not. It's not a gift. It's not a gift.
It has been described as a gift before.
Well, perhaps if you need something of me, it can be considered. But no. I mean, it depends. how much are you enjoying the gift that Pup gave you?
To be honest, I haven't had so much time to think about it.
No. In fact, it seems to quite do that very thing. While I have no love for that creature, it is fascinating to see his work sometimes. I could get rid of it if you wish.
Oh, maybe we could discuss that a little bit later. It seemed like you were in the middle of something with our friend over here.
Well, let it play on your mind then. I'm sure
I'll think
we
on
can
it.
Come to an arrangement. She shifts back to Aderyn and picks up the fruit again. Are you certain this is yours to give?
I give it to you.
Very well. She places it in the bowl, and you see immediately a soft mist arises from the bowl and wafts over that piece of fruit, and you see it just soften and sag a little bit further before that mist rises up into the contraption settled above the fruit, and it begins to flow out the pipes. And she gestures to Aderyn, to the pipe sitting in front of her.
Like with the drugs.
Catch.
She picks up her own pipe and just brings it to her lips, and you see her.
The hookah.
You breathe in, and your head instantly starts swimming. And you start to feel yourself lost, like just momentarily like out of space, before you just something mentally hits you like a brick in your head, and you see a flash of a amethyst purple dragon eye in front of your eyes, and you suddenly shock back to where you are in the room. What was that, dearie? You okay?
Did you see the same thing?
What did you see?
I saw the eye.
I saw no such thing, but please elaborate. That is interesting.
I will make you a deal.
I'm listening.
I will tell you what I saw, and you will tell us where to find the Fiddler.
Roll a persuasion check.
Is
that 18 or 19?
19.
19. I can't say I'm not intrigued. Your magic is something I've not yet encountered, and I would deeply love to know more. And I sense you would too. Interesting.
Do we have a deal?
in the interest of honesty, don't truly know where the one you seek is. Although I can make an informed guess.
I'm gonna look over at Balrick, like, if that is the full extent of the information you can offer about the Fiddler's whereabouts, then it will suffice.
She turns briefly to the rest of you. She locks eyes with Balrick for a second. And then there's a quick dismissal. For now. She turns to the other three of you. You three have been awfully silent during this. What's your stake in this, Fiddler?
Well, he's because my friends want to meet him.
But you don't.
I don't really care.
Roll me a deception check. You're not actually deceiving here, but this is reasons.
That is a 16. Oh, wait. 17.
Cool. She looks at you for a second. You all are so broken.
That's not very nice, but I suppose it's true, in a way.
There's something behind those eyes. Interesting. She then locks eyes with Togrim. Where are you going, little one?
I'm just exploring. I'm following this group along for the ride for a bit.
So cute.
That sounds like you're lost to me. Could Auntie give you some direction?
I don't have anything right now to trade for direction. I'll be fine as I am.
Something.
It's more the journey than the destination.
That is refreshing. Perhaps there are some steps upon that journey you're not prepared for.
Maybe not.
She glances at Tauri. You're very out of place. Canny.
Story of my life.
Story that would be to see. The weight of family weighs heavily on people. You can see it. Care for that burden to be lightened?
It's not a burden if it's lightened.
You think you're witty.
Wasn't trying to be witty. Just telling you what I thought.
You feel like someone who should be invested in deals, and yet you deflect at every chance. I wonder why. What lies beneath that paper-thin surface?
Howie just gives a slow smile back.
Everybody wants something, darling. All I do is offer to help. And then she just slowly turns back to Aderyn. You're an afraid little girl. You don't know anything about yourself.
That's not true.
No?
I know some things.
Care to share?
I do believe we have a deal, if you accept it.
You may be missing something in that pretty little head of yours. But you still have your wits. Very well, let's broker the first deal, and then see which of you have other things to discuss. The one you know as Fiddler came by here a few days ago. He was terribly loud and rude. Not like his usual self. Making demands of me. They failed to understand our partnership. But if they wished the issue resolved, I told them they could resolve it themselves. That spiteful little pixie that gave you such a gift, and I don't mean that pretty face, has been causing trouble in the forest and interfering with my new crop. We've decided that that new crop is theirs now. And I would personally disagree. But that information is worth more than what you saw. So, girl, what did you see?
I saw a big butterfly, like the one I have on my chest.
She stares for a very long time at your tattoo. If it were not a creepy old woman, if it was a man in a bar, they would have been punched by now. Just studying it. Interesting. What affiliation do you have with such an identifying symbol?
That depends. What do you think the identifying symbol belongs to?
Information comes at a price, dearie. And it may, after all, be in your own head. Something is there. Perhaps Auntie can help you find it.
You can help retrieve lost memories?
There is much I can do, dearie. All you have to do is ask.
And why are you so willing?
What's it worth to you?
I'm willing to trade 2 things. One, I can tell you about the other eyes that I saw only last night. And a place that is perhaps in this forest, perhaps in my mind, I'm not quite sure. The other thing I can offer is a doll.
A doll?
Yes.
A special doll? What makes it special?
It's imbued with feeling. Nasty feeling.
Be careful what you toy with, while blind little girl. You do not understand things. You do not understand yourself. Show me the doll.
Gonna unclip Tabitha from the belt. Show her.
She reaches behind her towards one of the shelves and just moves aside a bottle, and you see a doll. A similar kind of doll, but much more intently designed. And she lifts it off, places it down, and you see this is a crude effigy of a humanoid of some kind. Dark, thin roots acting as like slick back hair. There is imagery of like a ring on a hand. Roll me a perception check. Anyone else who's sitting at the table can as well.
15.
Purely sitting.
Purely sitting. It's the only way you'd be close enough. 15? You get a decent look at it up close, and you see that it has a chain tattoo, like stitching, in it. And a small pin affixed in the kind of cloth jacket on the top. Darling, you are inventive for someone who doesn't know what they're doing. I could teach you more if you wanted to be an apprentice.
What sort of teachings do you offer? Is there a reason for your doll?
All of my dolls have reasons, darling. and you look up and you see hidden behind those other bottles are more dolls on the back of that shelf. I have my methods. I would hate to see someone use theirs irresponsibly and misguided use of the curse.
Her?
Be careful with curses, darling. They can backfire if used without care.
Well, I'm gonna look at Balrick again, like... I won't lie. I am intrigued. I've not met someone who also makes dolls. At least not like the Tabitha ones, you know. I've known people who make pretty dolls. But at the moment I am helping my friends. So any distracts from that I would have to first discuss with them.
A pity. I thought we were getting somewhere. Well, if you have no other business for me, unless any of you wish to know more.
Leslie's gonna ask Aderyn. Ask her what Fiddler looks like.
What does Fiddler look like?
You tell me. You are apparently following their instructions. It implies you'd had a conversation with them.
I mean, the instructions are in a note. Does not have to imply we know what Fiddler looks like.
Where did you find this notebook?
You're answering my question with another question.
And
Well, that would just lead to a bit of an awkward situation. You know, I ask a question, you ask a question, I ask a question back, and I know you don't like questions.
I don't like it when people question me.
If you tell me what Fiddler looks like, you can keep my Tabitha.
Tell me about this one. Who is she to you?
Well, at first the doll was nobody, and then the doll started to look more and more like a girl I knew from back where I'm from. She wasn't very nice. I told her that her lifespan was like a joke to me, and that one day she would shrivel up and die, but that I would make sure she was still around to haunt places and to be reminded that she's now nothing but an ugly thing.
You are a surprise. Oh, I wish I could get inside that head of yours and see where it all comes from. Okay. Pass her over then. Give me Tabitha.
Tap Tabitha's head and be like, "We'll be okay here," and pass her over.
Fiddler. He's a little rat of a man. Thinks he is slick with that hair of his. And you can see she's playing with the doll that she pulled down and just stroking the hair on that's heads. Anyone can roll an insight check.
Nat 20. I'm
What's that
looking like watching her. I'm like
21.
18.
That's, I think that's a 26 in all total.
But all of you instantly go, that doll is Fiddler. And with that nat 20, you can see that in her other hand, she has another doll that she is slowly stitching on a purple dress.
Ew.
If you're up close and personal with him, that garish 3-link tattoo should identify him. I'll be deeply curious what happened to him. Our arrangement has been beneficial. Anything else, dearies?
Would you like to buy a flute?
Yeah, like I need to challenge. I need to challenge her.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
trying to conflict it.
I have no need for flutes. I suggest you figure out what's inside of you, though.
I mean,
thought
to be inside of me.
Sure.
If I may speak.
Cool.
Certainly. What can I do for you?
I have nothing of need. From you?
Oh, dearie, I see that pain. Haunted by memories.
Again, I have nothing of need from you. Respectfully.
Maybe you
cannot-
don't need something from me, but you might want me to take something from you.
No, thank you. I can't help but notice that you're making a doll, my dear friend here.
Yes?
I think that it's rude to take someone's image without their permission.
I would disagree. I like my mementos of the people I've made deals with. To remember them.
But you have taken something, her image, without her permission.
I have done no such thing. Does she look different to you?
A copy of something is still a form of taking. A forgery, a mimicry.
It is taking a memory of something, maybe. But it is of concern to you. I have taken nothing that she would know of anyway.
That does not make it take. That does not take away from it being taken. Something taken must mean something given.
I have given much. I have given my hospitality.
And we have given stuff in return.
We gave you the fruit.
That was the answer for your trespassing, dearie.
I think this is a very blurred line here, but I reckon
Are
that
you
hospitality.
questioning my methods?
I would never.
Then I suggest you stay silent. Now, before this gets disappointing for all of us involved, I suggest you move on. If you are looking for the Fiddler, head north from here. You will undoubtedly see the worth of that spiteful thing soon enough. And maybe you will find that simmering pool amongst the ruins of my Mordain. And you hear as the door opens.
Thank you for your hospitality, Auntie. It's been very enlightening.
Please do visit again if you have need of my skills. Each of you have interesting minds. And she then eases up and heads over to the cauldron.
Before I make a move to leave, I'm gonna call out to her. I'm gonna go, Auntie.
Dearie.
I'm gonna study her really intently for a while. And then go, nothing. I just want to make sure I get your likeness right.
That's my girl. Come back when you wish to learn more.
I'm gonna walk out. Creepy.
Anyone else?
I'm just gonna get up and say thank you for your time, and as I leave.
She turns to you. Be careful whose time you claim to take as you wander around, aimless and lost, little one. Perhaps you should begin to use your own. Find use for that spark.
I would just glance at her as she's talking and then just leave without saying anything else.
Sorry.
Best of luck with your garden outside.
Thank you. Don't take anything on your way out.
Don't worry, I won't.
Rest of you?
Get out of here.
Just going to take out Rax's club.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gift for you, Auntie. It's probably got some... Well, it's got somebody's blood on it. I don't remember whose now. I don't remember if I got all of the nails in the right direction, but I think you'll find it amusing.
Kind of a bat, right?
Gift? Really?
It's kind of a bat.
Not many people give me those these days.
Wow. I remember something about you liking bats, and I couldn't find any on the way here.
Oh, dearie. Perhaps borrowing books from people will treat you better in future. A bat! You see the cat skull just drift from a beam on the ceiling and settle on her shoulder. And you see that the ghostly light kind of briefly takes the form of bat wings before settling around the cat skull. But your gift is appreciated for its wordplay, nonetheless. Do visit again.
I might do that.
Love to know what that is with you.
It's all just me, Auntie.
That's what they all say.
I'll leave.
Is Aderyn still in there, or am I the last?
Left.
I'm just going to quietly walk up to the door, look back at her and just go, please don't talk about my pain again. And then quietly leave.
The door shuts behind you.
Solemn, silent walk out of the grounds.
Need to head north.
Not a single word until we leave.
Just got my hands in my pockets and just not quite whistling, but just cheerful.
Is anyone trained in nature?
I believe so.
Pretty girl.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think probably not.
Anyone trained in nature, roll me a nature check as you walk out.
21.
What time
What
of
I
day
get
is it?
to?
What time of day? It's hard to tell in here. But you weren't walking along from your campsite.
Okay.
Is that 21 from Tauri?
No,
21.
I was asking, am I allowed to roll? Because I'm not technically trained, but
No, I specifically...
that's why I was asking.
No, it's a valid thing to ask from a bard, but for this, just for the obscurity, it matters.
That's fine by me. That's why I asked.
What was that, Balrick, there?
21.
21, cool. You look around. You recognise a lot of the plants here. These are not local to this area. In fact, they're not really local to any natural area. Pretty much everything growing here, except for one primary exception, is a Fey influenced plant.
What's the exception?
The exception is the plant known as devilweed, which is also known... Well, actually, you wouldn't know that. The plant known as devilweed, which is a tobacco-like substance. With a 21, though, you do also notice various alchemical ingredients. including Ashwort. Which, if anyone is checking their list from Carol...
Yeah, I know. I knew it was going to be someone.
If you're interested in the phase-specific plants, I can give you a list of the ones there.
Nope, I recognise that one as the one that we need.
I'm assuming that's not a plant that we would find just in the forest. Specifically, she's
The way-
cultivated it, brought it here.
The way it was phrased with Ashwort is you would expect to find it in the forest, but you haven't found any. Mind you, you haven't really been looking.
Yeah.
You just happen to have found some growing here amongst plants that don't grow on the material plane.
Technically, it's not forest. Technicality.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
She said don't
mess
take anything
with-
on your way out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with Auntie Blightroot's farmed area, so Togrim is strictly hands off the entire way out.
I'm just quietly humming to myself as I leave.
I'm stood back because I'm the one who notices it anyway. So I'm just, as everyone walks away, just looking at it, weighing up my options. Stood stock still.
Does anybody notice Balrick stood stock still?
Ulrich's always at the back, so
Pretty much anyone near the back might notice that he's not following if we got.
As the other father of the group, Lesley's gonna notice that there's no, nervous ing as we're walking away. I'm assuming that's the noise that Balrick's just been making the whole time. And turn around and see, I guess, Balrick looking very intently at a plant.
Yeah. It's like staring at it.
And Leslie's gonna whisper, I think maybe we can come back and investigate when we have something else to offer. And when she doesn't have our friend's likeness on her person.
You're right. I just worry we won't get another chance.
She said we're welcome back here. I think maybe that's our next chance.
She gave us an invitation, she did.
Maybe we can find something to trade for part of her garden. Maybe we can find a real bat. Whispered.
You're right. Let's, let's leave.
Let's find this damn pixie.
You eventually leave, and as you pass through the hedgeway again, anyone trained in Arcana and can roll Arcana, and Balrick can roll Arcana with advantage.
Even though I'm not trained.
Yep.
23.
Oh, my first mediocre roll of the day. 13.
Anyone else? 5.
Not trained.
Togrim, you're the only one that senses it. As you step through, like in the previous instance where you stepped into Auntie's estate, you didn't notice it. It was there was conflict. It was impulse. But stepping out when you've got a little bit more time to think about it, there is a palpable shift as you step through. There's no clear way to describe it, but that is not part of the forest.
Yeah.
It is within the forest, but not of the forest.
It's like we stepped through a doorway type thing. Yeah.
And I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is this a magical effect?
Yes.
I get advantage.
Ish. I'll give it to you, mainly because you rolled the Arcana check well enough.
15.
15. Aderyn?
4.
4. Lesley.
14.
Togrim.
10.
Ximori, on a 1.
I see 2 fingers.
Yep.
And Tauri,
Singular 1.
30-20.
dirty 20. Aderyn, Ximori, you don't remember what just happened. Everything
Like-
from the point that you burst across that hedge to leaving it, gone. As far as you're aware, you have not stepped through that hedge yet.
Oh, you're back.
I'm assuming that
Fine things.
Are we going in then?
Yeah, I thought the vine things had picked you up. Where did they go?
What are you on about? We've just sorted everything out.
Yeah,
We
the
have to
vine
go-
creatures that grabbed them and then we went.
Don't we have to go see the hag?
Yeah.
We've been to see the hag.
No, we
We just
haven't.
got back.
When?
Yeah, we have.
Did you go without me?
No, you were there.
No, we were all there.
Aderyn, you talked to her a lot.
I
You
thought
gave her your doll,
you threatened her.
and
Can I
you
look
gave her a
at-
bat.
is my doll missing?
I
Obviously,
didn't have a bat.
You look down
What bat
and
could I give
you
her?
have a doll there. No, wait, sorry. No, you don't. Sorry.
No.
That's me.
You gave her a
breakfine.
club and said it was a bat.
You look down.
You
and
were
the
there.
doll is missing.
Where's
Got the club right. Where's the club?
Tabitha gone? Did someone
You-
steal Tabitha?
No,
gave-
you
No,
gave
you
it
gave it
to-
as
to
a
the hag.
gift.
Where's the club with
Yeah.
the bells in it?
You
You-
gave it as a gift.
Did I drop it? Did I drop it somewhere?
You gave. I mean, again, you guys were there. And I think the only one in the house at that point was me.
I don't remember
But
any of this.
When have I ever given anyone anything?
you gave her
Concussions.
the club.
I'm kind of
Ah,
not
sure.
surprised. That hedge is a magical doorway,
Oh.
Well, what
for lack of a
happened?
better
What
term.
happened? Did she...
Balrick, roll intelligence check for it.
17.
17. You've been around Fae stuff enough. You know that going in and out of the Fae can lead to people forgetting what happened in the Fae.
Is there magic mess with... Oh, that just went down. Start rolling up my sleeves and walking my way back towards the gate.
Ximori, stop.
Did we get?
We went that. Where we just went was in the Fae. It was the Feywilds.
What, the
Yeah.
hammocks?
It can no.
No, through that, and I pointed.
We haven't been
your way.
through that.
It can mess
We
with
have.
your mind. It can mess with your mind, and it can make you forget things, disorient you. It's a different world entirely.
I'm going to talk to someone more intelligent and I take Pebble by the face.
Well, we're still alive. So did we get what we needed?
But we've lost a lot to make up for that.
What did we lose?
Pebble.
Your memory, you were gonna make a doll of her, and I think that would have had power. And
I was gonna make. Well, I can't. I don't remember what she looks like.
Exactly.
Pebble, tell it to be straight.
God, you were the worst
You're
one.
going to talk to a hag.
Head just kind of twists in your hands.
Well,
Did we go talk to a hag, Pebble?
maybe if you just describe her really well. If you describe everything that
No, the
happened.
power's gone.
Although at this point, Tauri will cast a silent image of the hag. Just
Maybe
kind of
we
like, she just hold you like out of episode 3 with Cody and the Emperor. It kind of just appears like a hologram sitting in the palm of her hand, slowly spinning round.
I like that, like Balrick's like, no,
the Ballad of the War of the Stars.
and then behind him is just like Tauri going.
Jesus!
Balrick's just like, no, it's too late. It's too late. You can't do it.
That's her.
Oh yeah,
I think
That is-
I remember
yeah.
something like that.
On a separate point, might cut this, might move it. Do you remember in campaign 1 when I cast a sleep spell on all of you, and then about 2 rounds later we realised that technically Feindal shouldn't have fallen asleep?
Yeah, you've just realised.
You're 2 minutes into this conversation, and I've realised that these two are elven and therefore immune to Fey crossing problems.
So what you can do?
So that's exactly what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
So as Tauri projects this image, the two of you suddenly get hit by psychic backlash, essentially. Aderyn, there is another woof as a purple dragon eye appears in your vision briefly. And suddenly, just the image of that hag back brings back into relief everything that just happened.
I remember. I remember everything.
You recovered from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're elves. Fish.
Oh, maybe that's.
Can I just roll a quick check? Get history
I assume
or
that Ximori doesn't know
what
that.
to see whether I knew that it might do something.
Or maybe it's your human side and your whatever's in you, and maybe that's just made you more vulnerable to the magic.
Quite
I
possible.
mean, not particularly
Feel
smart, I'll
free
be
to
honest.
roll me. Call it.
Are you seriously doing a roll to see if Tauri knew what she was doing and that's it? No mechanical thing, just to be like, Tauri's just clever.
Just to see whether Tauri's
Roll me
have that
just roll me an intelligence check with Tara.
intelligence check.
Yeah, just a straight intelligence check.
That makes sense.
You get half proficiency, you're still a bard.
Tauri looking up clever.
Well,
I
yes,
get half
I'm an elf.
proficiency.
Yeah, you're still a bard.
That is a 17.
17. You were thinking just like, look, it's worth the shot. Like you would have read something about Fey Crossings. It's possible, like a children's story like that. And just like, it's possible that you could rejig a memory or something like that. And you know that elves and Fey, if anyone stands a chance of doing it, this might work. You're not 100% certain, but it's worth a shot.
Cool. Tauri will act like she knew exactly what she was doing.
Ow, my brain!
Yeah, that was a small side effect, but you can remember now at least.
I had a wonderful afternoon.
So now that we know what Fiddler looks like and you know, we're all set, do you guys need me anymore? Do you need my help?
Aye? What do you mean?
I'm just... Auntie offered, you know, like, she could help me understand some things. Like, maybe what I'm looking for isn't in the Empire
Her
Library.
help will bind you to her until you die.
Don't make deals with hags when you can avoid it.
I think she gave some majorly creepy vibes.
What
I
if
would
this-
explore other options, maybe.
But what
Maybe
if,
let them doll out of you.
what if this is it? What if she's the one that can give me the answers?
Then you can come back later when you don't have
We've got
any
an
more
invitation.
leads.
She gave you an invitation. You're welcome back.
I mean, also, like, it's a really big world.
And I didn't see any wine on her shelves. That was a house devoid of alcohol.
There's no cheese either, if that's important.
But I have heard the Feywilds have some ball of wine, but not in that house.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll keep it as a last resort.
Definitely make that doll though. I don't
I don't
know.
need it telling me anything about myself. I already know it.
Definitely make that doll though. I don't know if it'll mean anything at all, but I've got a feeling that images have power to her.
So you like my doll making, Balrick?
In this instance, yeah, I think I do.
Okay, I'll make an auntie doll.
Although,
Maybe you could make a Balrick doll too.
Yeah.
I'd prefer not. Maybe if you keep the anti-doll away, I don't know what power she can use from it.
I could just make her and stick her in a pocket.
Yeah. All this witchcraft gives me, it makes me uncomfortable.
Perhaps we should be having this conversation away from here.
Well,
We're going north, right? Get Fiddler. Beat him to within an inch of his life, I presume. Or sell
trying
him.
to trade with him.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, I forgot what we were doing. Look, my memory's been messed with by Fey nonsense.
We only need him to offload Balrick's stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 That's it.
So do you start heading north? what you call it.
Yeah.
Starting north. You begin heading north, and as you trek through, the words of Auntie ringing in your head that you would soon notice the effect of that spiteful little pixie. And soon the forest very gradually, but very noticeably begins to shift. The plant life around you begins to darken and lose its colour, almost like it's unwatered, despite there being pools of stagnant water lying around. As you cut through some branches to make your way through, the leftover nubs of tree begin to leak sap that is thick and viscous and crimson black in colour, blood-like seeping from openings. You swear it can't be, but here and there, trunks of trees, etched in the bark, there are faces or wounds leaking this viscous sap down. The branches wilting, weakened by something. The few trees that still bear fruit, the colour has been drained or changed into something disturbingly wrong, and the fruit itself is misshapen and bulbous in all the wrong places. You find your travel hindered as roots seem to rise up out of the ground, intentionally trying to trip you, or branches grow across your path, or wrap around the straps of backpacks and pull you back, hindering your movements. Now and again, you pass by scattered animals, and they possess wild looks in their eyes. A flock of crows descend from the trees and viciously peck and attack you. No provocation required, and require fending off and beating away. A family of boars, ragged, covered in moss and bearing wounds and limps, run past you and unnecessarily charge straight through you. You tried to not raise the danger levels from them, but they barrel through you and bash into you, causing no small manner of hurts, requiring you to briefly patch up wounds and ease sore muscles. But as you get closer, even these sporadic pictures of animals completely disappear, and the sound of animals disappears, and you are left with the gentle creaking of just the trees slowly wafting through the wind. Those of you playing thoughts in your head from the conversation with Auntie, Balrick, with what topic she brought up to you, you find that playing over and over in your head, souring your mood and making everything worse. You become angry at your fellows for slowing down, for getting caught, for falling into puddles and splashing unnecessarily. Aderyn, your frustration of being unable to return to Auntie and find out more about the tantalizing truths she offered, you begin to question whether your party have your best interest at heart or whether they are only out here for themselves. Lesley, that pouch around your neck begins to weigh on you, and you wonder just what you're doing out here and whether this is really what you should be doing. Ximori, that voice in your head gets louder. Is that you? Is it really you? Tauri, questioning everything in your life has been about family name. What about yourself? What about what you want? Rest of this lot don't understand what you're here to do. You've been dragged into this completely against your will. Togrim, you're lost. You claim to be seeking adventure, but you have no purpose. And if you were really seeking adventure and to discover the world, why are you walking around a muddy, desolate swamp, dragged along by these lot on paths you've already walked? You passing through the trees, you come across a small river, maybe 10 foot wide at most, and only a couple of feet deep. That isn't what gives you pause standing on the bank. On the other bank are a handful of trees. And trapped within their thick roots leading to the water's edge are bodies. Each one pierced with large thorns pinning the limbs to the thick, knotted roots. Horrifyingly, each one still appears to be breathing weakly. They're alive. Make a perception check.
21.
15.
15.
2. Aderyn and Tauri?
13.
Perception, yeah, 21.
21. Most of you see it. Some of these bodies are lizard folk. Most are animals. Boars, deer, even a crocodile in places. Each one appears bloated, as if stuffed from within. But Balrick, Tauri, Togrim, one of these figures grabs your attention as a human seems to lock eyes with you and weakly call for help. Stringy, dark hair hangs lank across their scalp, soaked with sweat as they weakly pull against the thorns. It looks awfully like that figure that Auntie was holding. And I think there is a good place for us to stop. As you have seemingly come across Fiddler at last, on the edge of something very, very dark. We will continue this story next time. But until then, see you later.